Hello and welcome back to Her Becoming. I am your host, Kayla Countryman, and as always, it is an honor to have you here with me today. If you are joining us for the first time today, Her Becoming is a holistic health and wellness podcast with the intention of helping you become the woman that you were sent here to be. So what that means is we explore topics from physical health to emotional well-being, mental health, psychology, cycle syncing, hormones, starting a brand, evolving in your career, really anything that is going to help you ground into the woman that you were meant to be all along. Today, we have a bit of a unique episode because I felt so called by what we're seeing in this current state of the country to have this conversation today. I believe that when we talk about holistic health and we talk about wellness, we cannot have those conversations without also talking about activism and community care and taking care of our neighbors. And it is no surprise what we're seeing right now. We are witnessing the administration pull back these benefits and resources that help millions and millions of people in our society have access to basic human needs, food and water. And I don't know about you, but I assume that if you are a listener of this podcast, you are just as devastated about this as I am. I was having a bit of a rough mental and physical week last week. I got back from New York. I got sick. I was just really not feeling well mentally and in my body. And the news of SNAP benefits being paused, rolled back, taken away, however you want to put it, really sent me into a little bit more of a spiral. Because as someone who is so empathetic, as someone who has such deep care and deep compassion for human beings, I personally cannot wrap my head around why we would ever consider ripping resources such as food and water away from human beings. I just cannot understand it. Is it surprising given what we have seen with this administration already? No. Did we know something like this was likely going to happen as a result of this president getting elected? Yes. But when you are seeing this happen in real time, you're seeing it affect your neighbors, people that you care about, and the fear that it instills in our society of the direction that we are heading, it is absolutely terrifying. And I also know, again, as an empath, it can feel really confusing and overwhelming to know how to help. When there's so much devastation hitting us from every single angle, it feels like every time we open our phones, open up Instagram, open up news apps, there's just sad, disheartening information and updates that we are getting fed on a day-to-day basis. We begin to feel helpless. And I think that's sort of the point of this leadership, and I say that with air quotes in case you're not watching the video, is they want to throw so many things at us so we don't even really know what to do or how to take action. We're essentially just getting the rug ripped from under us over and over and over. And it's sending us into this like paralysis of how can we even help? We feel so helpless. Where do we begin? And so today's episode is really meant to, first of all, talk a little bit about what's going on for anyone that has not been following along. But most importantly, it is meant to be a quick resource for you to get involved and support your community, support your loved ones, support strangers that you should also care deeply about to combat what is being done right before our eyes. Again, I said it at the beginning of this episode. To me, we cannot talk about holistic health and wellness without talking about activism. We have to be there for each other. And so when we're seeing something like this happening in our community, I feel it is my job to show up on this platform and use this platform to not only provide information, but to also provide resources for you to actually get out in your community and do something about it. So in case you haven't been following what's going on, SNAP benefits are paused nationally as of November 1st. And this is due to the government shutdown. There's a lot of politics involved in this, a lot of back and forth between Republicans and Democrats and whatever it may be, whatever the drama is, it's absolutely ridiculous. What this means is that millions of Americans are not receiving new benefits this month. And SNAP, if you're not familiar, stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So 42 million Americans, as a result of SNAP benefits being paused, are not going to get the support that they need to buy groceries this month, to feed their families this month. And federal judges have ordered that the administration dip into contingency funds to ensure that payments go out, but there hasn't really been an update on when that's happening. As of right now, when I'm recording this on Sunday, November 2nd, SNAP benefits are paused. And we can only hope that those contingency funds get dipped into sooner rather than later. But as of now, it's on pause. And families, people that we care about, are losing access to basic needs. Now, I am not an expert on SNAP benefits. I am not an expert on the economics in this country. But what I do know for sure is that we are interconnected beings, meaning we are meant to care for each other. We are not meant to just exist in this vacuum in complete solitude. It is absolutely our responsibility to take care of our neighbors and to take care of each other. And what we're seeing right now as SNAP benefits are paused and rolled back is we are seeing community members show up and support each other and provide food and volunteer. And it's so beautiful to witness and to see. And I want to encourage you to take part in that. Because the government can use their power for evil, but we as individuals and as communities have the power to change the lives right in front of us. We can support our neighbor. We can support the person in front of us at the grocery store. And it is critical that we take advantage of that in a time like this because the real change starts at this level. Something that I want to encourage you to consider as we are witnessing this atrocity is to shift your priorities for a moment. We are approaching the holidays. We are in such a consumerism society, constantly getting fed advertisements to buy more and more and more and more. And I want to encourage you, and I'm encouraging myself at the same time, instead of buying more, can you put your money towards helping families get access to food? Instead of clicking on that advertisement on Instagram, instead of filling your Amazon cart with things that are wants and not needs, can you instead volunteer your time and contribute your money to people that really need help in this moment in time? I, for one, am really reconsidering how I spend my money right now. It's my birthday in a couple of weeks, and I have a list of things that I wanted to treat myself to, that I wanted to buy. And I had to pump the brakes for a minute. I have to pump the brakes and look at what's happening in this country. Look what the reality is for so many people and ask myself, do I really need that bag? Do I really need that workout set, or can I just wear what I already have? I don't say that to encourage you to go full stop with your spending. I do say that to encourage you if you are in a position of privilege where you are able to consider even buying things right now that are just wants and just because purchases, to really think again, to really ask yourself, is this a want or is this a need? And can my money go to something more meaningful right now, temporarily, given the state of this country? Sometimes making a difference can look like making those simple shifts, like slightly pivoting where you're spending your money or reaching out to someone that may be able to use some of your support. It doesn't always have to be grand gestures. We can really change people's realities by making different decisions, by slightly tweaking what we were going to do and doing something else instead in order to be a person causing that domino effect of change. Another thing I want to touch on in this episode, and this comes with a bit of tough love, if you are someone who works in wellness or you consider yourself a wellness influencer, I need you to stop talking about the seed oils and the food dyes for a moment right now. I have seen so many women in the wellness space, and this may not apply to my listeners, but this may apply to people that you are seeing in your social media feeds, specifically white women, that continue to talk about ingredients and brands to buy and brands not to buy and food dyes and seed oils and don't do this and do that and clean eating. And as a holistic health and wellness coach myself, I understand how important ingredients are. I understand how important it is to know and understand what we're putting in our bodies. But what I'm seeing right now is women continuing to preach these things with no mention of SNAP benefits being paused. And it is driving me absolutely crazy. Access to food is a basic human right. And when that is being stripped away for 42 million people in this country, the focus has to shift. And I, for one, am completely fed up with people who consider themselves wellness coaches or wellness influencers that haven't said a damn thing about these families losing access to food. True health and wellness is making sure people are fed. We know the statement, fed is best. That may not mean that right now people can be focused on what's inflammatory and not having canola oil and avoiding red 40. That is not the priority. And again, I am someone who cares deeply about ingredients. Now is not the time. If you or someone that you've seen in your feed is preaching about these things with no mention of SNAP, we need to flip the script. Because quite honestly, I don't give a damn about seed oils when people don't have access to feed their families dinner. I don't care what food dyes are present in Halloween candy when mothers are trying to figure out how to feed their children at night. So we have to understand and know and recognize the difference between true wellness advocacy and privilege. It is a privilege to be able to ignore what is happening right now. It is a privilege to turn a blind eye to the 42 million people who are stressed and trying to figure out how to get groceries into their fridge. It is a privilege. And I have had it. I am up to here with the MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again. I have had it with them using fear mongering to shift the focus to ingredients and things that, in the grand scheme of public health, are not as important as making sure people get fed. So I say that to say, again, this may not apply to you if you are a listener, but you may be seeing this. And I want you to think about the people that you follow. Think about the information that you're consuming. Think about how you, as an individual, approach wellness. Because wellness is not just drinking green juice and going to yoga and sitting in the sauna. Wellness has to include human rights. It has to include Black and brown folks having access to food. It has to include people who do not make a livable wage being able to eat dinner at night. So that is my TED Talk about the wellness industry right now. I really hope to see a shift, but I really encourage you to be mindful of what you are consuming and then also be mindful of how you use your voice. Whether or not you are in wellness, whether or not you consider yourself an influencer, a content creator, it doesn't matter. You do not have to have those titles to use your voice to speak up. So here are some things that you can do to support your community as SNAP benefits are currently paused. The most obvious one is to find a local food bank and go volunteer, go take food, or donate monetarily there. So I'll put a few links to resources in the show notes so that you can just click, drop in your zip code, and find your local food bank closest to your home. Another thing that you can do that is one of my personal favorite ways to support my community is use your skills to fundraise. Any skill that you typically charge for, allow people to instead donate and then donate that money to a cause such as your local food bank. So in the past, I have done yoga events where I will fundraise for different causes. I've done quite a few for families that have been victims of police brutality or raising money for other causes that I care about. So if you have a skill that you're able to monetize, consider offering a donation-based class or a donation-based service, donation-based product, and then use that money to donate it to your local food bank. You can also group fundraise with your friends and family. Sometimes this is a more approachable way to fundraise. So maybe get together with your immediate family or with 3 to 5 friends and say, hey, let's each reach out to 5 to 10 people and see if we can fundraise $10, $20, $30 a person. and see how that adds up. See how quickly that adds up. You will be surprised at how willing people are to donate small amounts of money when they know exactly where it's going. A way to take this to the next level is to fund meals or groceries for a family. So I've seen a lot of people posting on Instagram saying, hey, if you or someone you know is impacted by SNAP being paused, reach out. I'll keep you anonymous. I'd like to go get groceries for your family. That is a beautiful way to identify families in your network that may need support. And then you can group fundraise with your friends and family to simply get them groceries for the week or to meal prep together for them and really make it a community event. Use social media. So, as I said, share to your story and offer to support a family, but also it can be as simple as reposting resources, sharing resources to your story. Everything that I link in the show notes, you can take that and share it to your Instagram account. Send the links to people that you know and love. Getting information out is also activism. It doesn't always have to look like donating or going on site to volunteer. You can also get information to your network, and that is also helpful. I think sometimes we feel like we're not doing enough if we're not in a position to be able to donate, or we don't have the time in our schedule to go to a local food bank. That is okay. Sharing resources is just fine. And that's really part of my intention with this episode, is to simplify it, but encourage you to do something. Ironically, this episode is also coming out on November 4th. A lot of local elections are taking place today. So this is also my call to action to you. Make sure you vote. Please, if you haven't already, I submitted my ballot a couple weeks ago. If you did not do that in time, go to the polls, vote in your local elections, go make a difference, go take the time. It does matter. Your vote is important, your voice is important. Do not skip out on the local elections because you think they don't matter. If we are seeing anything right now, it is the fact that these elections do matter, and the fact that we need to come together as communities and as a society to make changes at the grassroots level. Go vote, go use your voice, and go do good in your community. Okay, that is all I have for you today. Take care of each other, reach out to people, check on your loved ones, check on your community, use your social media platforms to actually share resources and help people in this time as we approach the holidays. Limit the consumerism, y'all. Really be intentional about where your money is going, how you're spending your time. There are people out there that need you. There are people out there that need us to come together and need us to be there for them. And it is our duty as a human species to participate in community care. I have tons of resources for you in the show notes. Please, please, please share this episode with friends, with family, with people that may not know what is going on. Again, I am no expert, but I am here to use my voice to push resources and to remind you that your voice is powerful and your vote matters. I will see you on the next episode, and until then, be well.